Welcome back to the Stocks to Trade Daily Recap. Today is August 1st and got several interesting plays for you. So for sure, the definite stock of the day is Tops. Really, I did not, I saw it gap up this morning, and this has been a runner, and look at the float. We talk about this all the time, but puny float. And I saw this gap up, and I just kind of expected it to kind of grind sideways and not really go anywhere in that 4 area. Well, I mean, it ripped out of the gate to almost 7, and then just basically toyed with shorts all day, cracking that 6. I mean, everybody on Twitter is bashing. And not that that is always a reliable indicator, but you need to take that into consideration. When this thing won't crack down, and you can literally line up tweets with these little fades to 6, because all of a sudden the bashers come out of the woodwork every time it pulls to 6. And bash, and then it bounces. Bash, it holds. So recognize that. Use Twitter as a tool along with Stocks to Trade to gauge the sentiment. And see that, it held 6, and then this afternoon, we talk about that a lot too. You can't get overly patient on a short, mid-afternoon, because if they don't crack and they hold, and it's, right here, 1, 2 o'clock, odds are they'll push into the close. And you see it got a perk up, broke through 7, pulled back a little bit again, but held that $6 level. So closing at $6.50. This now, anything can happen with this stock. I would never hold it overnight. You could get up tomorrow and it could be right back at $3 a share. But this will definitely be in play tomorrow, and was a solid trade. Really, in my opinion, the risk to reward this afternoon was there for a solid 50 cents, 70 cents a share. This morning, tough, just because it was just so fast. Unless you kind of set your risk on 4 and bought in the 420s, definitely, I saw a lot of guys making a lot of money on this. So, but it was just too quick for me. Dilemma for me was I was kind of watching SPHS. This thing had a nice gap up and a hold. I talked about it in the watch list last night, that if it could hold 6, that I would consider buying this for a squeeze type move. Everybody's talking about the offering that hasn't come yet. Now, bummer is I did not trade it. I was watching it just because I didn't want to trade it in pre-market, so I wanted to see it kind of bounce off 6 and grind up, kind of like what Tops did, and it didn't. Straight down. Pretty solid short sell opportunity had you shorted it once it couldn't stay above 6. Say you got it in here in the 580s. It went all the way to the low of the day was 532. Good 50 cents a share there. And it hung around and ground up a little bit in the close, but this is probably over with. I would be very, very cautious if you're holding this long. Once everybody moves on and forgets about these, it had its pulls last week. Couldn't get going much Friday, couldn't get going today. Odds are it's probably done for. OPTT, this was our short sell watch last night in the watch list. I did not get the push I want. You got a little bit of a grind up to the mid-9s, and then straight down and fade. This is, like I mentioned in the watch list last night, this thing could be a real multi-day fader. Could be a very strong swing short sell. Last one I want to just point out was something that I never even picked up on is WGBS. This was straight from a subscriber. He tweeted it, I think, mid-afternoon, and said he took a small long position, and it was up pretty good at that point. And holding that 26-week high, I think it was, he tweeted, and then nice rip into the close. Very, very strong close. This could be never did check the daily chart. Let me look at the daily on this. Definitely some room for this to run. I didn't look into it at all, but I just wanted to compliment that subscriber on picking that up. So going to be interesting tomorrow on especially Tops. I'll be watching that for a continuation of the squeeze, you know, just going against sentiment on Twitter. And then OPTT, I didn't get any of that today because it didn't hit my target, but I'll be looking, you know, any pops are short opportunities. Now the SSR is on, so now you got to really be cautious shorting, but I'll be looking for pops to scale into. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.